What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Jay Free. I wanted to come with another tutorial on how to run your stems when you only have two tracks, right? When you only have a stereo two track. So for instance, you actually create your actual multi-tracks in Logic or Pro Tools or Studio One, and then you cut your sections up in those. So you have your intro, your chorus, your bridge, your vamp, and then maybe your outro or something of that nature. And you just want to run the two tracks. You don't want to run the multi-tracks in Ableton. You just want to run the two tracks. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to use You're Worthy to Be Praised, the stems I have for that. And so here, I'm just going to come here and I'm going to name this You're Worthy to Be Praised. And then I'm going to set the tempo. The tempo on this one is 110.65. And then I'm just going to save that. Let me pull this out some. And so now all I want to do is start to drag these actual loops, which are the actual sections that I actually two track, right? Have a stereo two track for, and I'm just going to put those in here. All right, and so we got the drum loop, which is like the kickoff count in. Then we have the band intro, then the chorus, then the band bridge, then the vamp. Okay, and that's it. That's all the sections I have split out for this second. I actually got this loop from my man Kevin Conley, from Pretty Simple Music. He's got these free loops on there. So I got this years ago when I first started Ableton, just to get used to it or what have you. And so let me go ahead and name these. I always like to keep my naming conventions so that way I can see the different sections clearly. Also, it's good to do it in uppercase letters. So again, you can see better. The worst thing in the world is to be on a gig or in a church service or what have you, and the lights are down and you can't see your actual sections and all that, or where to go, what have you. Okay, so now I have that done. All I have to do now is say, let's just click these. All right, and so this drum loop is actually already looped because these are already set for Ableton. Okay, but normally this wouldn't be looped. Okay, and so normally when you would click that launch button, it would play that 2 measure bar, and then you would stop, right? To play those 2 bars, and then it would stop. And so if we wanted to just loop, sure, we can just click loop and then have it go to the next section. So I'm gonna just do that for the drum loop. So that way, whenever you're ready for it to go to the next section, you will just click on the actual band intro. But if you already know, okay, I want just that 2 bar loop, it's fine. Then you can just take this loop off, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to launch. And so in the launch section, this section tells Ableton, I want you to what to do, basically. So it tells Ableton, okay, either I want you to repeat this drum loop or I want you to go to the next scene. These are actual scenes over here. Under your master section, you have all of these scenes. All right, and depending on what version of Ableton you have, you could have an unlimited amount of scenes. Okay, so these scenes could be, hundreds upon hundreds, depending on what how many songs and stuff you have in that one set list or what have you. Okay, and so we're gonna go back. We're gonna click on drum loop, and you see we have a 2 bar drum loop here. It also tells you that it ends at 3, so that means we have 2 bar length. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna type in 2, and then I'm gonna come and I'm gonna click on this second box here, and this is where all of your different actions are. Okay, so a stop action would be for the loop to stop. If you wanted to play that loop again, you can play it again, and it'll play until you click the next scene to play towards. All right, if you want to go back to the previous scene, you can do that. All right, you can also click next, is what we're gonna do, and then you can go back to the first scene, the very first scene, or the very last scene. Okay, and then you can just do any of some of these other things that just kind of MIDI related or what have you. So we're gonna select next. Okay, so now what it's saying is this drum loop, after it plays this 2 bars, it's going to go to the band intro, right? And so the band intro is 8 bars long. So we want to click in here, we want to go 8 bars, and then we want to come here and we want to say next. So after it plays that 8 bars, now it's going to go to the chorus. So we'll come here to the chorus. Now you see the chorus was not warped and it was not set up, right? And so what we need to do is say, okay, how long is this chorus? I already know because I counted it out. The chorus is actually 60 measures long, okay? And so what I need to do is say 60. I need to come here and say 1 and 1. And then that's going to give us our position. The position would normally be, let me go ahead and warp this. All right, so this is going to be 60, 1, and 1. Okay, and this is going to make our length 59. And so we'll go 59, 0, 0, and then we'll go 59 here as well. 59. Okay, and so now we have that follow action. So again, we've set, we had our band intro, we had the chorus. Now we wanted to do the band bridge, and that band bridge is 4 measures long, right? So we're going to click in here, we're going to go 4, and then we're going to say next, and now it's going to play to the vamp. Now for the vamp, we don't necessarily have to set that because the vamp's going to take us all the way out to the outro and to the end of the song. And so again, if we click on drum loop, we see we got it set for 2 to the next action. And then we have this one set for 8 bars to the next action. Have this chorus set for 59 bars. And we want to say next action, right? And then we have the band bridge, 4 bars, next action. And of course, no actions on the actual final vamp. And so let's click on this and let's see what we get. So, all right. So you see I went straight to the band intro. And now it's going to light up showing you what the next scene is. And that next scene is the chorus. And so once the chorus lights up and it goes into playing, it becomes active, then the band bridge is going to light up. All right, so this is the way that you can set up your stereo 2-track stems, what have you, where you have the full stem, but you don't have it, multi-tracked out. Also a great way to really work. The only disadvantage to this is you want to be able to have flexibility based on who your praise and worship leader is, or based on the environment that you're in. And so some of these sections are a little bit longer than I would normally have. I would normally chop some of these up. Like for instance, in this chorus, there's multiple key changes. So I would actually chop up those key changes just in case I needed to go back and repeat a section, that the actual praise and worship leader wants to repeat or what have you. Let's see where we're at in that chorus. All right, so we're about halfway through the chorus and it's going to change over. And you'll also notice that on all of these, when I warp them, it goes to the song tempo, the sequence tempo, which is 110.65. So that way they'll line up to the grid, perfectly. So even if you wanted to repeat a section, all you would have to do is tap that launch button and it will repeat right on the one. I'll show you that in a few minutes as well, so that way you can kind of see that. And I'll also show you how you can actually control these from your computer, your laptop, or even a controller. It's just a matter of setting up the key or the MIDI for those as well. All right, so we're ready to come out of the chorus into the band bridge. See how they went straight to it? All right, and that's going to take you all the way out because we're doing the vamp here, okay? And so that's how you do it now. Say, okay, I don't want to have to grab a mouse or get on my mouse pad and actually click these launch buttons or what have you, right? And so what you can do is you can use a key command. And so you see how it turns that ugly orange. What it's telling you is, okay, now you have access to your keyboard. So whatever keys that you have on your keyboard, you can just click on one of these, and let's say that's the number 1. This will be number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, right? And then so you'll have your key commands. You can also do it with MIDI. So say for instance you have your keyboard, right? So all you have to do is just click on whatever section of your keyboard you have. So I'm gonna say, okay, yes, I want to change that. And these are my drum pads that I'm actually using to launch these. All right, and now I have the key commands, or I have the MIDI commands. Okay, and so whatever section you want to launch, say for instance I want to launch section 1. I actually just hit the pad on my MIDI keyboard, and it just launched section 1. If I want to go back to section 1, 2, 3, 2, right? I'm going to the chorus now. You see what I'm saying? Even though I had another portion of that actual of that actual section still to play, I went ahead and went to the chorus. Now watch me go back to the band intro right after this. 1. See what I'm saying? You see, that's how you can just flow. So if she tells you, oh, let's go back to the top, you know what I'm saying? You can go back to the top. Now we're at the bridge, right? We're at the band bridge, and we're going to take it out to the vamp. Well, say for instance, I wanted to stay on that band bridge because the praise and worship leader is exhorting the people to praise or what have you. I can go back to that and just stay there, right? All right. I can hit it again. We can stay right there until she's ready to move to the vamp. One more time. You see what I'm saying? And then it gives you flexibility. So now you can kind of move with her. And then we're gonna take it out to this next section. And that's pretty much it. You just drag those in. You make sure that you come here, make sure that it's warped. You got the right timing on it. And you make sure that your lengths are matching. So whatever this length is, if it's the correct length, make sure that your lengths are correct. If it's the correct length, you make sure you put that in there, which is the amount of the bars of that particular section. Then after that, you're good to go. And again, if you want to do your key commands, you can do key commands on it, or you can do MIDI to actually launch these actual scenes. And these work with pretty much all of your buttons or anything on your actual MIDI keyboard. So if you have launch pads on your MIDI keyboard, you can use those. If you have an APC Mini, those will automatically be mapped to your actual scenes, which is actually great. Like Machine, I believe it'll map automatically to your different scenes and your instruments or tracks that you have going linear. But that's all that we have for this one. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and you can click the like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks a lot, guys.